Hi guys, so I'm back. This is part two. I'm not sure if we're going to have a part three until we get in it because I really don't want to go over an hour. Um, and then I'll continue right after if there is a part three and let you know. So this is to uh, do a tutorial on the house. So hello, it's me. If you see this, it's me. Okay, so let me show you the house real quick if you haven't seen it. So this is Prima rose quartz paper. Um, I don't know how to stand it up and you be able to see it. So we're going to make this out of chipboard. The roof comes off. There's the inside. It has a tie closure. You can put whatever type of closure you would like on it. And it opens up like this. So I'm going to give you the measurements and show you how to wrap and do um, this. I'm going to give you the measurements for the pockets, the flips, and if you want to put um, a different type of album in here with the hidden hinge and then the flip pages, uh, I don't blame you. Whichever way you want. It's your project, whatever makes you happy. I like this. If I had it to do again, I would do a belly band and a magnet here, I think. It's not the end of the world because actually when it closes, um, you know, it's like that. So it really, there's the back. So it really isn't, you know, either way, whatever you want. And then the lid. So, so there we go. Let's put this off to the side. I will pull it out every now and then to show. And if I were you guys, I would watch my whole video and take your notes and screenshots as I'm making it because I made a lot of mistakes and I will tell you all of them as we go through them because I don't want you to make those mistakes. And hey, it's just paper. And if I make mistakes, that's what I do, you know, if I'm making a project that I've never done before. Like I told you before, um, I came to my husband and I said, I need this layout. From that, he told me, I said, I want 6 by 6. And then what is this? The thing is you take this to get the peak of 9 divided equally in equal parts, and it became 9 because it was 6 by 6 this way. Then I took scrap paper to figure out, okay, how do I fold it? So I did get this idea, and I put her name on the her name was Kelly at Split Coast Stampers. She made a one-page 12 by 12 where you just score it and put it all together, you know, little house. But I'm making chipboard. But I put her link on my first part one. If I can remember, I'll do that on part two. So, okay, let's get started, guys. So, the house album, you're going to need 2 pieces of chipboard, 2 by 6 by 6. Okay, 2 by 6 by 6. And you need 2 6 by 9. So let me explain how to get this cut already. Okay, so this is 6 and this is 9. This is lightweight chipboard. My son ordered it by mistake for me, and I actually used it on that house, and I actually like it. And it's thicker than 2 cereal boxes put together. Here is medium weight chipboard, and here is this one. So I don't know if you can see the difference between the weights of them. But I actually like it. And for this project, because we put so much paper and we wrap it, I'm considering using this more often on projects. So, okay. So let's talk about the house. So on your 9 piece, you go up to 6 and you make a tick mark on both sides. You take your ruler and you draw a line. So this section is 6 by 6. Then you go into the middle and you find your middle, which is 3, make a tick mark. You go up here, which is 3, make a tick mark. So can you see the middle right there? Then you take from that tick mark to this line and you run that line with your ruler. I got glue on me and everything. And do the opposite. And then you cut out this section and this section. Okay? See how my lighting is working here? I don't know. I think y'all can see that. Okay? I woke up at 3 in the morning because I didn't get this done on time, and before the workday begins, I want to get this out for y'all. So then on this line and this line of the top of the roof, you put it in your scoreboard where the cutting groove is, and you cut. I bring my blade down. That's how I cut, and you cut that piece out. Okay, and then let's rotate. You follow the tick marks and that line, and you cut. Okay, so you have to do that twice. You have to do that twice, and you have to do it just twice, and then these. Okay, so let's now tape up our chipboards where I need to tape up. I try to do as much as possible. So let's tape up the chipboards and then wrap it, and then the wrapping. So let's put the tape to the tip. I hope my computer is humming because I just turned it on. I prepped as much as I could. I hope it's not making too much noise. So I'm going to put extra tape in here, something like this, just to make sure it stays down. So remember, this is 6 by 9, 9 long, 6 wide. Put 2 more pieces in here. You can use glue if you want to on top of your tape, or just use all glue. Depends on what area you live in. Score everything down. Burnish, sorry. Burnish it all down, which is rubbing it in place. So I already did all my chipboards and I have it all prepped. Okay, now we need 3.5 of your cardstock. This is 8.5 by 11, so you need 3.5 of these. The other half you'll use for the roof, and you need 1.5 for that. So let's get this together and wrap it. I like to get my scoreboard, and I've already put my tape on to try to save as much time as possible. You can glue right here if you want. In fact, let me just, since I am making the base, let me just put a bead. This is art glitter glue. Kimmy got me started on it and I love it. So I'm going to put it at the 6. I'm going to put my tape right at that 6. And then I'm going to take this piece of paper, and so it's at 6 and 6 1/4. Well, 6 1/8. So I'm going to take my paper and line it up at that 6 and push it down, and see how it just lined. This scoreboard has a lip edge right there. So there we go, and it just makes it easier because you don't want extra Like I've said, I have a video out, the basis of making an album, how to wrap it and how to make pages. And I'm going to make more videos to talk about just different pages, because once you learn to wrap, you can always change your size of your chipboard and just come up with different pages. Because the first album, I'm thinking I could have folded the paper and had a fold instead of glue on both sides. All right, let's talk about this project and stay clear on this project. So it's at the 6. We're going to bring it, butt it up, makes it easier, it makes it line up, and it just is nice for you. But you don't want extra paper hanging way over and it not be glued or taped down, because then air will get up underneath it, and eventually within a year or two your album will not be as strong and stay as long. But if you do it this way, so far I have stuff that's been 10 years. Okay, the extra piece. But if you have extra, we're gonna, you know, if I'm crooked and I have extra, I'm gonna put designer paper on top of this, so it's not the end of the world. So nothing's the end of the world because it's just paper. So anyway, the score. Why do I keep saying score? Let's burnish down. Okay, so now we're gonna wrap. I have 2 medium weight chipboard pieces put together, and this is going to be my spacer that I like to use. So let's get this started. Let's take all the tape off. I'm just throwing them by the trash can, but the trash can looks like it's been moved a half a foot. And so it's missing the trash can. They're on the floor. Okay, so now let me do what I like to do. I like to take about 1 inch with my ruler, because I know I need 1 inch to wrap it. So the Tim Holtz, I wish I would have put fingernail polish on this so it wouldn't have rubbed off. So I take the inch and I run my pencil line and line that up as close as possible. And I make the line so that at least it starts out straight. Okay, so let's see if I'm in frame. So I'm going to put it right here. Start out with whichever side you want to start out with. So I'm going to put that down. We'll flip it over to burnish, but I'm really rubbing and pressing down heavy. Don't need that one. We put the 9-inch one first. Now we're doing the 6x6 wall. Let's see, I used the wrong side because that's for the other side. So let me go ahead and add 2 more pieces of tape in here. I was finding that I was wrapping this on both sides with so much tape that, you know, once I was like wasting tape because I was double covering and I was having to add more tape to it after I wrapped it. So I'm like, you know what? I know I need tape on all 4 sides on both sides, but when I lay it down, you know, I need the extra tape. But when I wrap it, sometimes I'm over taping. So I decided to take my time on that. Okay, so we're going to get our spacer. You can just measure it with a ruler and get your spacer. Put my reading glasses on and let's space it. Put it on that line. Okay, Burnish down, but we're going to flip it and burnish it all. So now let's do I'm trying to stay in frame for you. So now let's do the peak part with the roof. And this is me already prepping for an hour to get this done for you. So I'm just trying to hurry because I know people have things to do. So if you want, you can glue this with the tape or just glue. You can put me on fast speed and I can talk like Donald Duck. So let's push it up against there, line it up on that line. I can see that I'm not straight on one end. My table also has a bow in it, so if it looks crooked, it's probably because of my table too. Alright, and the last piece. This is almost like making a box. Hope everyone has really nice Easter plans. It's supposed to be a nice weekend. We've had really bad weekends of weather for the past 3, so I'm looking forward to a nice weekend with family. We will be going to Mass and then dinner with the family that's around Easter dinner. Kyle's doing Easter lunch with his girlfriend's family, so we're doing dinner, which is fine. He's meeting me for church. Okay, so see guys, we still even have quite a bit. The seams all hit in the middle, trying to make them all hit. I could have, and I should have, look how much space I gave myself. I wasn't thinking. That's way too uncomfortable for me, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to make it happen. This right here, first mistake of the day. How many am I going to make? This should have been spaced out. I should have gave myself another 2 inches. First mistake, but that's okay. That's okay. It's all doable. All right, guys. So now I found it to take my, oh, I'm right in the middle of something. I forgot to tell you really important good news. I will give this kit, the chipboard and the paper, and this is, some people call it artisan, but it's linen on both sides, 80-pound cardstock that's, whew, people are selling it for $2 a sheet sometimes. And we're going to use quite a bit of sheets. You know, it might be up to 15 sheets. But I'm going to give the chipboard pre-cut, the linen paper as a giveaway, plus other goodies, because I'm moving and I'm like, you know, I have double of stuff. So how to be a part of this giveaway is you take my video and you share it. You share it on Facebook, on your page, or in a group, but make sure the group is okay with it. Don't just share and they say it's not allowed. Be in a group that you know is okay. You share it and send me back the link so I can go see it. And if I see it, you're a part of a drawing, and your box will be one of those priority mail. What size is this box? Priority mail box. I think it's $12.50 is shipping and handling, medium flat rate box. You will have a box full of goodies. So, yay! So remind me to tell people about that. All right, so I take my bone folder and scoring around the chipboard. Don't try not to go in those holes too much so you don't pick a hole. Oh, I can't believe on that one side is just that much paper. That'll make it work. But you know what? This is just for this video, and if I have to trash it and add another piece of paper to it and start over, you know, with that one, I will. So let's burnish down all that. All right, I can see my little score lines. I don't know if you can see them, but let's start wrapping this. So bringing it up, because this cardstock is really, and see how this right here, we have so much extra. Just work it softly. But guys, take your time, no cracking. This should not crack if we just massage it gently and take our time. This may take you an extra few minutes, but it is so worth this right here. Okay, so I'm just going to stand it up and kind of bounce it in place and massage it. I'm excited about that giveaway because I have doubles of so much stuff that I don't even know if I'm going to be able to find paper for you for decorating. I'm sure you have your own paper, but I'll try to find the best giveaway I can. I'm excited about it. Okay. Because I have so much extra paper, let's go ahead and relieve some of that tension. See, all this should be on that other side, because that's why I said 3.5, because I had done it the first time that way. Okay. I have seen where people then take their bone folder and push up against that and has a good crease. And push up against that and you have a good crease. And this one I'm definitely going to do. Ooh, look how much space I have just to cover that. Just made it. Alright guys, this is the scary part for some people. I'm going to only have maybe 2 inches out here, and we got to cut away the extra. Okay, we're getting close to that section, so let's just come down at an angle and cut that away. Let's come down at an angle, go about right there, get in there. I could have, I will adjust that, make it a little thicker. Get rid of this extra paper. We do have a little bit of throwaway paper here, which you can use it to have around to make notes, or I don't know. This kind of paper right here I have to make notes on or something. So sorry about that, but we do have a little bit of waste. Okay. Now, we need to fold all this, but how do we do it? So what we do is, you see right here, we're just going to, let me look at my notes before I cut, because I would hate to. Did I go straight down or fold at an angle? I gotta see how I did this. I literally have to see what I did. Yep, I went at an angle. I'm sorry, I just want to make sure for you. So I went at an angle and I stayed away from it, because remember how we have to miter the corners? So I'm 1/8 away from it. Okay? So now let's see what I did on this one, on the peak. On the peak, I'm going straight at the peak and I'm leaving 1/8. Right here, I'm going just to the angle and leaving 1/8. Right here, going to the angle. You see that angle is where I cut. Don't pay attention to that where I cut. Just come in with your scissors at this angle and leave 1/8. Okay, let's just go straight down here, leave 1/8. Right here, sorry, fold it over, but we need to come at an angle at that corner. Okay, it'll get easier as I walk you through taping it up and wrapping it. Okay, okay, already pre-taped, but I also now have to get rid of these corners that have too much. So because I folded it here and I folded it here, you can kind of see once you fold it. So you come in. A lot of people take this and they make the lines, and if we want to do that so that you're secure with not getting too close, we can make a line, but I'm used to it, so I stopped right at that line and I made the line after, but see, I cut at an angle. But me, I always go way too off, so I do come back this way and cut, and it met up. Okay, I just take my time. This is the corners, to me, get us. So I take my time on it. I'm like all over the place. So let's fold this down. Let's take our time. No cracking, remember. Let's take our time. Fold it down. Okay, going to push this up this way and take our time. And if you didn't cut enough, the paper will want to cut for you, and you just come in here and cut just a hair more. And then it'll let you get up against that chipboard. Okay? We're going to trim. You see there's going to be extras. We still have to trim. And it wanted to tear because I didn't cut close enough. These peaks are different than corners, guys. Trust me. The peaks are different. Okay? This little one I need to trim off. I want to trim a little bit closer. Okay. What I'm seeing is you almost have to cut right to the chipboard. Okay. Just fold that. Yeah, this one, the peaks need to be almost right to the chipboard. Just, I mean, a hair, just a sliver in front of it. Because the peaks are different than corners. Okay. Let's do the bottom part and the side since it's easy and get it over with. Then we'll do the top. Move all that stuff out of the way. So I still need to do this one corner here. Trying to stay in frame is what's getting me. Okay. Let's put the tape on, because the reason why we're putting tape on the paper, because you see tape on the chipboard already and you're like, you're using more tape? Well, the reason why is when I fold my paper over, it's going to hit in the middle of this. It's not going to hit right on the tape line. We have to have the paper taped down too. But you want it secure, so you are using a little bit more tape than like making a card or something. Okay. Burnish, burnish, burnish. Pull the tape off. Pull the tape off. Pull the tape off. Okay. Let's go ahead and get this tape off. And I'm only going to peel up halfway so that it doesn't get all sticky and dirty. We'll pull that off when we rotate around. If you have a hard time getting underneath your tape, it's because you didn't burnish good enough. And re-burnish, and it'll help you. Okay, I am going to use glue. The reason why I want to use glue is, if you can see there, the tape didn't get close to the edge, but I want that edge not to come up with a lip later. Today, 5 years from now, I don't want it to not. So, I don't know if you can see it because of the lighting. There you go. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue there. I'm going to put a bead, just a very light bead, on that chipboard to hold it and give it secure. Okay, so let me do my glue. I don't know if you're going to see all this in frame, but I'm putting a bead of glue all the way down close to the edge of the paper on the chipboard there, and then just a squiggly little line in the middle. Now let's just take our time. Glue squirts out, that's good. That means it went all the way to the edge. So there's nothing wrong with that. Okay. Now the corner. Push down and crimp in. Well, actually, let's put our tape down first. Are we counting that as a mistake or just a forgetfulness? And we have to do this corner. See, this is an actual corner right here. So I'm going to come at an angle. Come out here at a little bit of an angle. And cut there. Okay. I think I could have come a little bit more. Okay. Get the tape out of that way. Long project. Okay. Make sure you see this. Okay, so remember we're doing our tape on the paper. And the tape right down the edge of this. Now you might be saying I'm using glue. Glue is a lot faster. Okay. Oh my God, if this was me watching a video, I'd be going crazy because of the slowness. I would literally already have you on 2-speed wishing it was 4. Alright, so I double tape, so let me get that one off first. Let me get that one down. Let's get this one off. Because of the size of this album, it's a pain in the hiding. Let's put our little tiny bead up against there. Let's get it where the tape didn't get on the edges. And we're putting glue on top of tape. Yeah. A little bit there. This is art glitter glue, if I didn't tell you, and it dries clear and dries pretty fast. So we're doing that edge. Let's push that down to do that edge and crank it in. Okay. This is where I need to get a wipey because that glue and my fingers are clean, but because I'm using white paper, I might be picking up something off the table or whatever, and I want my paper to stay clean when I'm pressing on it. So, alright, so you see we have the mitered edge. Now we need to do this one. See, this is just time consuming, and I don't have a program that I can join these videos together, so you're going to have to see real-time progress. But you can fast forward with that little key there. Just fast forward this, you know. Burnish down. Ugh, I can't believe that first mistake was not centering that paper. That irritates me. It will be irritating until this is wrapped. Okay, what do we need to do? We need to do our glue. Need to do our corner. Push it in. The good thing about this is we wrap the paper. I'm not happy with that corner very much. It's got a little bit of a white spot right there. Well, actually, once I folded it over, it's pretty good. So, let's just keep working this. It's not really hard. It's just the size of it, guys. So don't let the time that I'm taking drive you crazy. Okay, so what before I do this, there's extra paper there. I'm going to take and cut it off like that. The peaks are a little different because this piece gets folded on top. Okay, so let's just take that whole piece out. I'm excited about the giveaway, guys. I hope that I have new subbies that will share places so that this idea gets out there. I don't know if anyone else has made this tutorial. I googled and I didn't see anyone doing a project like this with the chipboard. There was one lady. Her real name is Anna, and she's from Poland, I think, and she was on Graphic 45's design team, but she didn't make an album. She made a box, and it looked like a house, and inside, you open the box, there were books. Okay, so this is taped down. It is oozing out, so we're going to clean our fingers where we cleaned it up. I need to fold that piece of tape right there, or paper. Okay. So we'll varnish everything. So now this, I need to fold that one piece of tip in. I need to miter that at an angle. See, it becomes a diamond. Both of them are like diamonds. And see how it's at a, see how it folds right there at an angle. It has a tip. I do need to fold that in, but I should put tape on first. And it's still mitering the corners, just like, if you really think about it, it's just like doing the corners. But you may have to put 2 cuts into it to make sure you get the right cut. I would rather cut it twice instead of just say, oh, it's a corner and miter it, but it's a pointed corner. That's kind of hard to explain. So just take your time with it. Cut it like I said. It does work. And if you have to cut it twice to get the extra, then okay. Who knew that? You knew it, and after you did it, 5 minutes later you're working on a whole nother project and you forgot about it. Just make sure any of that extra tape that's on the edge is folded under. That kind of stuff will end up coming back and getting you, because there's tape places and then it gets sticky with the glue and then dirt just shows up. Even though you washed your hands 3 times before you started this project, just touching projects, materials and everything. Let's fold that corner in. Let's fold that corner. Come on, corner. Stay folded in. Thank you. Fold that down. And you know, I think most of my comes from touching the pencil lead. It gets on where you write, and then it gets on your white paper. So you don't want it dirty. We're almost done. We're halfway done. I don't want that to rip. So let me just take some pressure off of that. Get the tape. Let's do our thing. Some of this stuff I just couldn't prep for, so sorry. I think this is probably going to be 2 parts. Because do y'all like one long hour-and-a-half video, or do you want 2 parts where you can watch one, take notes, enjoy it? I don't know. I don't mind 2 parts. You know, if I have time, I'll go to it and watch them back to back. But if I don't have time, at least I know it's there. You know, that's what I like. I know it's there waiting on me. Let's glue. Fold just a little. Okay. You see how that flaps over? Well, we know we need to get rid of that little angle. Okay. And that little angle. So it is almost like a corner. I go straight down first to make sure I get the angle I'm looking for. That's just me. You might say, whop, whop, bam. Okay, so I see that this is the piece of chipboard I showed in the demonstration and showed that I needed to cut. How did I do that? Okay, so I need to add tape to the chipboard. This is the one I cut for y'all and showed you. So let's add tape to the chipboard. This project, because I was figuring out the sizes, took me about 4. It looks like now it would probably take me less than 2. If I wasn't taping and concentrating and trying to talk and not let it be dead air. Ugh, dead air. I don't like dead air for some reason. I wish I could add music, but you need to hear me talk, or I would be going a little faster. Okay. Your pokey tool, your needle. If you have nice nails, let's get up underneath that tape. Let's get our glue. Let's get the edges. That way it's secure. Just a little bit squiggly in the middle. Let's fold it over. Hey, I did that again. Did you see that? Is that a mistake or did I forget? Let's get that from underneath there. Woo! I feel glue seeped out. Let me clean my fingers. I don't want it to get dirty. Let me look at this project and see what I need to do. So I need to put tape down, minor that little corner with my fingernail, and tape just got yucky. I have two pair of glasses on, reading glasses and then close-up glasses, and one just fell on my head, so I just got blinded there for 2 seconds. That happens quite a bit. I only wear 2 glasses, one on my head to read, and then one for really up close to see what I'm doing because it's white on white. I only do that when I craft. I never have glasses on just driving or whatever. It's just reading. But the reading glasses are 1, and I think I need to go to 1.5. So let's get our glue. Squiggly a little. Oh, let's fold that with our fingernail, push that in against the chipboard, and let's get that glued down. Glue came out, so now my fingers are all sticky, and I don't want to hurt my paper. Get the paper dirty. So there we go. Almost done. This is the scary part right here, is this side. So we need to go in here just like if it was a corner. I needed a little bit more off, and it had cut half, but not all of it. Okay, so we almost done with this part. I'm sick of it. I hope y'all fast forwarded. If you're in Glue Gun Chronicles, I'm going to post this in Glue Gun Chronicles, so you're going to have to find somewhere else to post to get your free entry for the giveaway. But post away in there, please. I mean, when people post in there, it just shows me that you really like me and care. Caring and sharing. That's what it really means when I say caring and sharing. It makes my heart skip a beat that, oh my God, someone out there likes me, and I don't think I'm very likable. So, all right, I'm not gonna cry. Anyway, I have friends that I see them post and they don't even post in my group, but they're in my group, and I'm like, how do I get people interested in posting? It just helps everyone. Okay. I'm too giving, I'm too nice, I'm too sensitive, I think. Let's fold that in. Let's fold this down. Now let me get this corner proper over here. Fold that in. Fold that down. And oh my goodness, this is a tight little piece. It worked. All my corners did good. There was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 corners. Ooh. Usually we do, maybe there's 10. Usually we do a lot. All right, guys, let me put this up for just a minute so it doesn't dry out. I am going to finish this part of it and keep going. So very gently. Oh, wait. Well, there's tape on there. We still need to burnish this, even though there's tape on the other side. Ugh. All right. Let me get refocused and settled and not nervous. Go back over all that. Because I pushed it down with my fingers, but I can hear it when I'm pushing on it, the air squeaking out. Hear it? Did you hear that pop? That was air popping. Let me hear if I can get you another pop. Nope. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and just crease these sections here. Crease these sections here. Okay. I'm going to go slow. Remember, we still need to go slow here. See that tip of paper right there? It needs to be cut. There you go. It still is all white. It was just a little hangnail. Go slow. It's working out really nicely. And go slow. There you go, guys. There you go. What we do need to do is punch 2 holes. And after the paper's on, we're going to do it together and punch it at the same time. But we're going to put this paper in. Okay? I don't have this paper ready. I have the roof paper ready, but not this. I do know how to cover this to save paper. Okay. So, do we measure or we just do tick marks? So we know this is 6, so we need this to be 5 7/8 by 11 twice. Or you could just do tick marks. Let me get my ruler. Either you tick mark on here. 5 7/8 is two little lines before the 6. So that's where I'm putting it. There. Either you tick mark on here when you measure it, or you tick mark on your project. A tick mark means you put your paper up there and you just put a line where you think it should go. Oh, I need a new Tim Holtz ruler. And even if it doesn't rub off, I'm going to actually paint it with clear fingernail polish so it doesn't rub off like those. I have 2 of them and they're rubbed off so bad. But I'm used to it, so I know where the marks are. These could be your belly bands or your bands for your flip pages. Okay. See how it fits in there nicely? But we still have to cover this. Let's put our tape on 4 sides. Be fast about it. Be fast about it, Leigh. Come on, these people do not want to be here all day. They want to be crafting. A lot of times I literally have watched a video that I've never made a project before, and I have my stuff and I'm making it and pausing it, doing it. Making the project, pausing it to the next step. So are you crafting along with me or just making notes? Gosh, if you're crafting alone, that's fun. We're not lonely. We're together hanging out. You're having some me time. I call this me time. So hi. I'm going to put 2 long ones right here. I am so grateful I buy my tape for $1 at the expo. And I've used it for 8 years now and have never had one problem yet. I haven't always been gluing and taping. I've only just started using the glue. So, and the brand of the tape is nothing special. Here it is. Get it out of the trash. It's at the dollar store. This is purple. It shows up blue on my camera. And this is all it is. Who makes it? Multicraft Imports Incorporated. multicraftimports.com. I'm going to call them or Google, see where I can buy it and try to find it for that $1. I have bought it for $1.50 too. So Forever in Time Paper Craft Collection. I just heard Johnny's alarm go off, so it tells me it's 6 o'clock. I got up at 3, started prepping, and it's 6. Man. Well, I did a little cleaning. I did a little other stuff like answer a couple of questions on something someone wrote. All right. Because this is my base, I just want to go ahead and do just a little bead, because I can see where the tape didn't get in the corners. And I mean, it's just a little. Am I on camera, guys? That pink mat is there because my light shines down and it bounces the light back up. So that pink mat has to be there for y'all to be able to see and not have a light shining back at you, bouncing like if someone had a mirror. Okay, you know we're going to have to go in those grooves once we cover. So let's get our second piece. We were supposed to move into our house, our little house that we're building this next round, well, this now, because I wanted to be there by Easter, but we're not going to make it. We have to do the floor and the kitchen cabinets. The kitchen cabinets are stained and varnished. They just need to be hung, but we have to put the floor in because we don't know if we're putting the floor in first and then the cabinets, or the cabinet bases down and then wrap the floor around it. So the floor actually starts today, and I want to be in within a month. So as we're building, Johnny doing everything by himself, only on Saturdays and Sundays. Kyle came out about 5 times, and a neighbor came over maybe about 5 times, 5 days, and worked a few hours. They could have put in a whole 8 1 or 2 times, but we're building and I have to pack. And the building's not going to stop for 4 years, I think, because we're doing a little guest house and we're going to live in the guest house. It's like almost a bedroom. We're going to live in the guest house while he builds my studio. And then after the studio, and I told him the studio can go last, or we don't even have to do the studio, but we're going to build the studio. But he insists that he wants me to have the studio like I used to when I taught porcelain dolls where I poured my own dolls, and Fabergé eggs, and I did scrapbooking too. We Are Memory Keepers. I used to sell it 25 years ago. So I put that on there. So he, here's a little hint. I like to come at the opposite end, put my paper down, and have that small piece that to fill in the middle. I don't know why I do that. I don't know if it matters, but I like to do that way. Clean off my fingers. I feel glue, and I know I just touched the pencil lead. I saw it. That was glue, but it dries clear. Burnish this down. But then after the studio's built, I can hear popping. That means there's air. After the studio's built, then we do the main house. And we're doing it all ourselves, and you're like, that's a lot, but it's actually cheaper because we're doing it ourselves and taking so long. It's actually cheaper than building one house, and it's 3 buildings, and then he's already got his garage there. So we need this little piece. So let's see if I have an extra piece that I don't have to cut. This piece right here, I think will work for those angles, so we'll use that for these angles. And okay, nope, that won't work. Let's just cut a piece. Let's just do it right, since I'm making a tutorial. And actually the one I just showed you, now that I'm cutting this, I remember. So I need, I'm going to do a 4-inch. It gives me an inch on both sides. So I need it 5 7/8. Remember, that was that, by 4 inches. So let's go here and cut to 4. This piece is what I used to cover those peaks. And 5 7/8. I'm going to try to guesstimate 5 7/8 on here. Let's see, 3/4. Yep. So this piece fits right there. So I use 3 1/2 to cover the front, and then on this side was 1, 2, and we went into a 3rd piece. So it took 6 to wrap it. But this is a 4-sided album instead of a 2-sided. So 6, when an album usually takes 2, you know, I'm using, you know, that's not that bad. I keep thinking, gosh, this is a lot of paper for people. I feel bad for this. You know, I don't want y'all to have to go spend an arm and a leg, but it's not the end of the world when you think that it is a double album. I think I need to put one down the center just to give it enough. I don't think y'all are picking up all the air bubbles that we really do push out. But once we're living at the property, because we're an hour away, once we're living at the property, instead of Johnny just working the weekends, he said he wants to work like 2 hours every afternoon, and you know, that makes up, that's like 2 hours every afternoon is almost like a whole weekend, putting that time schedule together. And you know, when I say he works the weekend, he's out there by 8:30. Then people come over to visit, and then he's done by 6, or he has to run to Home Depot. So it's not even an 8-hour full day a lot of the times, because something always happens. So let's cover that. So He doesn't even do 16 hours a weekend, and he's by himself. Sometimes in the last week or so, I've lost patience and I feel bad. I'm just ready to be out there. And I said, you don't have to build anything else. Why don't we just stay in this little cottage? It's 1,200 square foot. He goes, no, when I'm working out there, I forget about all my other problems. Let's crease this and forget about real work and other problems. And I want to do it because I'm trying to slow him down, but he's not listening. Let's find that crease. Let's find that crease. Bend up. Now, we really have to go slow again because once again, we're trying to get that paper. Okay, before we do that, let's take this. And we want to cover up all the brown. This right here is going to get folded in. So we want to cover up all the little brown pieces. And if you're using that and you see brown, then take a little white marker and cover it up. Like I see a little right there, but once it folds in, it won't be seen. So let's take this, and this is where I'm doing tick marks. I need to cut right here. Wait a minute, let me get this high up. I need to cut there to here. And then I'm going to actually flip it and cut the opposite side. I want to cover that. Get up in there. White on white's hard to see. I'm sorry, guys. So I want to cut it here across. Do you want to hear stories, or do you want me to just be quiet? Because just let me know. But actually, it doesn't matter. Just put me on mute because my mom might be listening. Hi, Mom. It was so good to FaceTime you. I missed that. So glad that Autumn helped. So this is our extra paper, which we could use on something. So glad Autumn helped you. Okay, guys. These are not the same size, so which one fits where? That one there. Got to flip them around to make sure. There you go. That one fits there. So the tape needs to be on this side. Yeah, if you don't like me all the talking, just mute me. Some of y'all really do follow along because then you ask me questions on my page. Hey, how's this going? Or what are you doing now? Let me see a picture. And I'm like, okay. Caring and sharing. If I could get y'all just to share in Glue Gun Chronicles more, that would make me explode with joy. I mean, there's people sharing in there. And it goes in ebb and flows. Sometimes there's a lot, and then sometimes not so much. And then I'm thinking, you're in my group. I'm just going to share your project right there because I love it so much. But I'm like, is that rude? If they wanted to share, they would do it. But I like that project, and I really think everyone else would. You might say, why didn't you just cut a piece that was the same size as this? And I thought about that, and I said, I'm going to do it on this video. Cut a piece here for this section, cut a piece this way for this section that's that shape. Let me get my house and show you what I mean. As you can see right here, this piece of paper right here is one sheet. Why didn't I get a sheet of white paper to cover this all this way? Probably should have. I thought about that when I put these together. That's how I should cover the chipboard. But nope, this is how I did it the first time, so I'm doing it this way the second time. It's okay. This all gets covered with cardstock, your pattern paper. So you could be doing it that way. It might be a smarter way. It would be 1, 2, 3, 4. So this would be 6 by 6. This would be a half of a 12 by 12. This would be the other half of the 12 by 12, and this would be so you would need 1.5 12 by 12s to cover the inside. If you want designer paper, you need 3 12 by 12s for the, excuse me, 1.5 12 by 12 for the designer paper on one side and 1.5 on the inside. So you need 3 12 by 12s just to cover this with designer paper. And then all the extras. So how does this go? This goes that way. I see a tick mark, so let me erase that. Let me put the tape down. My room, craft room right now, is atrocious. There's a baby playpen in here. Can't even see it. I can't even. It's a mess. I wish I could have music playing in the background, but then my video would get snagged and deleted because I really like crafting with music on. Whoops, it's too high up. If you get up underneath it, I haven't pushed anything down yet, thank goodness. It was just barely there. Yeah. This totally should have went this way. I mean, it's all secure because there's going to be another one on it, but I don't know. Either way, it all worked. It's all working. You will never see this. Let's push the creases because we're going to now fold this up. Try to let that dry for a minute. Let me start on this end. So we're folding gently, gently. We're folding gently, gently. You see how there's a lot of paper everywhere and it looks like it's a hot mess right now? That one little piece needs to be glued down. Okay, but when it's all covered, you don't see any of the inner workings. So there you go. The tie and leaving it alone for 24 hours makes it want to stay in this position. Right now it just wants to open like that. But once you punch the 2 holes and tie it, it will stay in place. See, you don't see the inner workings once it's done. So if you're new at this, don't fret. Don't fret. Okay, guys. Let me see how long this video is. I need to add a little glue to that one piece and let it rest for 5 minutes. That one little tick mark, because that is right where it needs to stay. And it would be seen if it's not right. Okay, let's see what time we have on here. We're at 1 hour and 14 minutes. I already have the roof ready, and I already have the pockets ready. Let me go ahead and talk to you about the pockets and the flip pages. You need 10. Let me explain what a flip waterfall. Waterfall is like water falling down. Flip pages, you need 10 of these. 5 and 5. The 2 pockets, okay? You could do double pockets here if you wanted. Or put a hinge in and have actual album. You know, you could have a hinge in, and the hinge would be the same size as these albums that I just showed you. And you could do this. So a few videos back, this is how to wrap an album, beginners 1. Part 2 of that would show you, well, the hinge is on part 1. Part 2 would be the pages. You could put these pages right here on these 2 6x6s. It's your choice. Okay? So go back to those videos. I'll link it down below here later. And if I don't, just remind me, girls, and I will go right back and do it for you, okay? So if you want the flip pages. The only thing about the flip pages, now that I've said it, is when you close it, I think you're only going to be able to have one flip page. I think you're only going to be able to have one flip page in here. Let's see why. Okay, so it's here. You could have, okay, so see, look, there's 2 albums. You could fit the 2 albums I made. In this box. Okay, so this box could house 2 6x6 albums. Okay, you could have half your hinge on this side, or just one heavy hinge, or half a hinge over here, and do the same tutorial that I showed, or do the waterfall. Whatever it is, your project, whatever makes you happy, guys. Okay, but that's just another idea. But the pages is on video part 2. The hinge is on part 1 at the very end, the last 5 minutes. Okay, so for the pockets, you need 2 pieces of paper, 3.5 by 7, score at 1.5 on 3 sides. We scored, and we fold over. I did get rid of the little square here and here to get rid of some of that. And then we fold this down. So we're going to work on that, but I'm going to give you the sizes because I'm going to stop this video. And then for the waterfall, I call it flip pages. It's actually waterfall pages. You need 10 of them. So you only get 2 out of 8.5 by 11. But you get all these extras that you can make a lot of tags. And this is the extras. You can make a lot of tags, and you can make a lot of, you know, when they give you the cards, you can back your cards for journaling. So this is so usable in so many ways. You can make little cards. You can fold this in half and have for tuck spots and stuff. So you need 10 at 4.5 by 5.5. You must score a 1/2 inch on the 4.5 side. So this is 5.5. So you put it in your scoreboard. See where it's 5.5, but you rotate it at the 4.5 side and score it a 1/2 inch on all 10 of them. And I put the tape on there. Okay. I like to put my designer paper down first. So after you put your designer paper down, you then take and you line it up at the very top edge and as close to the edge and as straight as possible, because the first one, if it's straight, the rest of them will be straight. And you glue this on. Okay, and it's glued on, and you score it down. Take the second one, and it is butted up to the next one. And if your first one is straight, so take your time on the first one, then all the rest will be straight. And then you have your 10 waterfall. Okay, so I'm going to stop you here, upload this, and continue with the next video of the roof. And I'm going to put all my designer paper on before I punch the hole, because I was punching the hole every few minutes every time I put paper on. I must have punched the holes 8 times, and I'm like, why didn't I just punch it one time? So okay guys, let me stop here and just get this uploaded, and as you're working on this, I'm working on part 2. I'll be right back.